Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Pull up a seat, there's something unique. You now tuned into something you ain't know that you need. Let's talk about it with Brenda. This high level conversations. Engage the community and change the vibrations. No more casualty, no matter nationalities. Let's have real talks and cut out all the fallacies. It's hard to change the circumstances being negligent. Empowering the people, you could be the president. Let's start programs and reach all the youth. If history been twisted, we should teach all the youth. No more politicking, putting pressure on the politicians. We need legislation that'll change our conditions. Meet me at the round table and let's conversate. Make a plan to action, cause ain't no time to wait. Let's change the fate, cause it ain't no more go along. You can always tune in here to know what's going on. You got something on your heart, let's talk about it. You need to find a place to start, let's talk about it. Community and unity, let's talk about it. You got something on your mind, let's talk about it.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Brenda Coles. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Today, I'm extremely excited because I have a very special guest. First, I want to thank everybody for joining me today and my special guest on Let's Talk About It with Brenda Coles. Like I told you, this show is about bringing you information that you can use, and also just highlighting those in the community that's doing magnificent things, because these are people that you normally don't see, don't hear about. We got a lot of work, a lot of advocacy that's going on all the time, and those are the people that we want to talk about. But today, I got a special guest that I had not seen in many years, but I've been knowing for decades. And his name is, I call him Q, but his name is Chef Q, or Chef Kerry. Askew is his name. I'm just going to give you a little bit of information, and then I'm going to bring Chef Q in, so we're going to talk, because this is a dynamite brother. He's been out there for a long time with his cooking, and Lord knows I used to work with it for him. So I already know what kind of food he had, how good it is, the home cooking, everything. We're going to talk about those things. His ice sculptures, let's not forget about all that. So we're going to talk about that, because you know a lot of people that will want to be able to get Q. We're going to find out where we can find them. But just a little bit about Q. Chef Kerry Askew has over 35 years of experience, earned a degree in culinary arts from Johnson & Wales and the Culinary Institute of America. Chef Askew professional experience includes head of chef in Colonial Williamsburg, Jefferson Hotel in Richmond, Virginia, Tobacco Company, Pillsbury Steak and Ale, Bennigan's Tavern, and Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. His professional, this professional chef offers a diverse range of international cuisine options. He also prides himself on crafting delicious dishes that cater to specific tastes. And the reason why I know that, once again, decades ago, I used to work at Chef Q, or Q's restaurant. That anybody that remember, it was located on Warwick Boulevard in Newport News, Virginia. And I never forget the first time I went in there, and Chef Q had this delicious bread pudding. He had this delicious peach and blackbird cobblers, homemade, give you these taste tests. And let me tell you something, and I was through then those ribs, oh my God. So anyway, without further ado, Chef Q, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Yes.
You can go on and on, right?
It's a pleasure.
Listen, Chef, let me ask, I know when you gave me a call the other day, and I only recognized the 757 number, you know, I'm gonna answer from 757. But when I answered it, you said, hey, I automatically knew exactly who that voice belongs to.
Yes.
And then you told me about Fire and Ice, your new website, your trucks, having 3 food trucks, brother. I'm just so proud. Tell us a little bit about Fire and Ice, how they came about,
sure.
And what's what you're doing, what's going on.
Okay. Well, first of all, the business used to be Q's Catering. About 5 years ago, right before the COVID, I came up with a method and how to change stuff. So actually, God put a vision in my head, put the vision and put the energy in my heart and told me to do these things. So I listened to him. I listened to him first, God. So I decided I changed it to fire and ice. Fire is because of the cooking and ice because of ice sculptures. Um, and what he put in my vision was let's not only let's do the catering, but let's do food trucks. So I woke up one day and decided I'll buy one. So after buying one, I bought two and I bought three. Um, I focus on all festivity events, weddings. I'm a special kind of food truck guy because not just a food truck. My food trucks are built for production, not only just for a festivity. It's built for production, so I can do weddings, birthday parties, and several on other things. I can definitely do tailgate parties. And what I decided and the vision that God gave me was, let's make yours different. So I went with a complete wrap. All my trucks are wrapped the same way. It cost me thousands and thousands of dollars, but it all belonged to God, and He told me to do it, and I did it. And I have TV screens on the outside. So not only I got the music, I got the menu, my food truck is completely different. So not only I have food trucks, I do catering, festivity events as well.
Well, Q, let me tell you, when I remember, well, first of all, I already know everything is always elegant with you. I saw the videos of the food trucks. So I wasn't surprised of the even the elegance of your food truck, the inside of it, from the outside of it, from your tables being and the color. And then when I talked to you about, fire and ice, and you explained to me how you came up with that name and the ice sculptures that I've seen you do, and the ice sculptures that I've seen people order over the years. Where are you? Where are you with your ice sculpturing? I mean, because I think a lot of people don't. A lot of people, first of all, don't do that, and then you got a lot of people that ask for it, but it's hard to find someone that can do ice sculpture. So where are you with that ice sculpture? Because I'm gonna tell you something, brother. I am just amazed, and I'm proud of you of the fact that when God put that on your heart and God gave you the vision. See, I know you already. I know you, and I know what you are capable of doing, and I know what you will do when once something is on your heart and you say, "Hey, this is what the vision that I have now that I need to do." I've seen you do it before, so I was just amazed to see these three trucks. But let's talk about your ice sculpture. I want to hear a little bit more about that because I know about it, but I want you to tell the audience about your ice sculpturing.
Okay, so when I do those type of events, no, you can't. If it's 70, 80 degrees outside, you really don't want to do that. Even in a building, if it's warm in there, you have to put it up, and because it's not gonna last long in an environment like that. So people are definitely aware of that. So I could do different sculptures upon what they request. What I normally do is I sometimes before I get to the event, I have it carved, and then I do the details once I get there. Um, Normally when I do those type of events, it is a little bit. It's not too expensive, but it's attention to detailing, which I like. Attention to detailing. It brings you out different from all the others. So along with the sculptures and all that stuff, I detail it and give them what they want and go from there from the food. So normally, if I do a sculpture or something like that, it's more of food laying in it, like maybe a fruit bowl, and I put out it could be a heart or someone's name, and then I lay fruit and cheese and stuff around it, and that way you not only you getting the sculpture, you're getting, you're getting food along with it, around it, and it's the center of attention, you know. So with that being said, it's not really used for outside. I've done some, but if it's 80 degrees outside, it's gonna lose it's gonna lose all the details, and it's not gonna last long. So
Right.
that's one
Yeah.
thing. It's more for the inside, and
Yeah.
if it's warm inside, then I normally don't bring it out until it's time to bring it out, because if it's warm inside, if it's 70, 80 degrees, it's gonna melt quick. Okay,
Right.
but
But
I normally don't bring it out until it's the time. Okay,
right, exactly. Now, I think it's important though, because I still think it's important that people know that if they want to find somebody that can do ice sculptures, then now they know somebody that can do ice sculptures.
sure,
Because I have had
sure,
people to ask me about who can do ice sculptures because they can't find somebody that can do it. So
sure,
that's a good thing. Now, the other thing I want to ask you, Q, I know that you have served thousands, and
sure,
I mean thousands of people with your catering service.
sure.
And so, and even right now, I saw where you had some celebrities that you have been serving, and doing some catering for, and then you some, like I said, some tailgating and for a lot of the big games, and then you're traveling. So your food trucks are available. I know you're down in the 757, but
Yes.
your food trucks are available to travel. How far? Let's talk
DC,
about that.
I can go Richmond, DC, North Carolina, South Carolina. Um, it's whatever the customer want, as long as they can, and I make sure that it's affordable. I give them what they want. That's my focus, is to please them, is to satisfy the customer, and that's what I do. So, and like I say, it's completely different from any other food truck, because my food trucks is set up for production and festivity events. It's not just a food truck with a grill and a fryer. I have refrigeration, freezers. So I have one thing unique about my food trucks is I have batteries and installed underneath the floor, where if I travel, the food stay cold, to make sure the food is safe. So if I got to travel 2 or 3 hours away, it's not a problem. We have safe food. Also with the food trucks, with the catering, I have my own china, my own glassware. So I'm completely different. God has blessed me where I can feed up to 500 guests with china glassware. I'm not talking paper or anything like that. I'm talking about real china, real napkins, real tablecloths, and all that. I can set all that up. Not only that, if we at a facility and they do not have a dishwasher, I have this company that I get it's real nice class. It's disposable chinaware, and it looks real. I mean, it's a high dollar item, but I get it for a reduced price. So not only I get a quality product, I share that benefit with the customer by getting a good product, not a paper plate. It looks real. On some occasions where they don't have a dishwasher machine, or they don't want to, if they had a pool, they don't want to have glassware and stuff like that. But I do have all real china. With the disposable, it looks real. In some events, I have clients that are amazed. They're like, "Are you throwing that away?" Because it looks so real. So I am so flexible. It's awesome, because what I do is take that theme when I do a festivity versus a catering event, wedding or birthday party or stuff like that. I pull up at the client's home, or family reunion, or whatever it is, and not only I have the entertainment, I decide what, I talk to the clients and figure out what kind of music they want. So not only that, I have the entertainment, I have the delicious food, and I can't forget about this. I have soft serve ice cream. I have one of my trucks that have soft serve ice cream. not only the kids love it, the adults love it.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I have lemon pound cake, and I do the soft serve alamo on top of the lemon pound cake. So I have different flavor soft serves and stuff like that. That's amazing because I got next month, with not next month, which is May this month. I have 2 events in Richmond. You know, I do a lot. I do a lot of school events, uh, um, teachers appreciation. That's one thing that I did for you one time,
Yeah,
and I still have
yeah.
the plaque. I used to do a lot of that. So going back to school, getting out of school events and stuff like that. I customize. I have a customized menu for people who they don't want to spend a lot, but they want a quality food. I can customize that. So I don't want my customers to walk away from me. I want them to not only enjoy the food, I want them to have an experience that
That's
they
right.
never had before.
And let me say something. Let me say something because I was gonna bring that up. Q, and for those that's listening, let me tell you something. When you're talking about community, everything Q is talking about is giving back to community. When I was a PTA president for Rich Neck Elementary School. Everybody have heard about Rich Neck because of the young boy that shot the teacher. That's what you hear about Rich Neck Elementary. But back in the early 2000s, when I was a PTA president there for 4 years, I actually had an office there in the school and very, very well connected with that school and that entire community. Q was one of the people, and I mean, I cannot tell you, if I was to put up the phone and say, Q, I got 80 teachers and staff that I want to be able to give them something today so they, a nice lunch for them to have. Let me tell you something. Q will bring out the best of the food. I'm talking about, I remember one time, Q, you did chicken marcellas and I forget what else and for them. I remember all of that. That it didn't matter, and that was something that you donated for the staff and the teachers at Rich
Sure.
Neck Elementary School. And the many times that you actually did that for me, for community, giving back to community. So I already know who you are all about. And then when it comes back to giving back to community, not just me, but other people, and giving people a discounted rate when they wanted something and they needed your help back in the day. Now, I know today food prices are different. So we're talking 20 plus years ago. We're talking over 20 years ago. 20, 25 years ago. So that was a very long time ago. Food cost was nothing like it is today.
Yes.
But I do know one thing, you always had a well extensive menu as you have today. Food
Yes.
cost is not the same. So, those things are not expected the same, but I'm hearing some of the same theme come from you that I've always known about you. And that is that you want to always make sure you satisfy the customer that you are, that is calling upon you. I do know that when I put out Fire and Ice on my website and on social media, I had one of my good friends. She called me up and she went through your website and she said to me, she said, "Oh my God," she said, "I think I may call him up and have him come to my house for my 70th birthday that's going to be approaching. I believe it's going to be sometime in the later part of the summer." And I told her, I said, "Well, you can't find a better person than Q to be able to put on a birthday for you, a birthday party for you." And I said, and the food is just absolutely magnificent. But I want to ask you something. I know you said, I want to go back to something with your food trucks. I know you said that you can serve up to 500 people from your food trucks. Okay. But
Hold on. No.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Okay. So, number one, I've been doing an event ever since you've been knowing me or longer. The Boys Club, downtown Newport News. 21 years. 21 years. The gentleman's name is Corey Bonds. I've been feeding not only the homeless and my price has been the same for 21 years. So it's not all about receiving, it's about giving. Okay.
That's right.
And I fed, and this has been on channel 10, channel 13, channel 3. I have fed 500 or more plus with no problem from the food truck. The way I set it up, they don't just come to the window. I set up a buffet from the food truck. So I'm completely different. I have tents. I put it up and I put it near the food truck. They enjoy the music, the food, and it's a gift just to be able to bless others and to give back to the community. And definitely, you know, my sons used to go out there with me before I even had the food truck, and we used to feed the homeless, and they learned from that. So it's about giving. It's not about receiving. And the thing about it is, the biggest event I ever done was 12,000, and that was for the government, and that was a blessing. You know, on top of that, so with the food truck, I just had recently, I had Amazon call me up. Oh no, they didn't call me. They sent me an email, gave me a 6 hour, 5-6 hour notice to feed 4,000 people. A 4 hour notice. My trucks was loaded. I was there an hour and a half before. I had everything fired up, and I fed 4,000 people in 5 hours. So I'm not just set up. I mean, I went through estimate of about 900 pounds of French fries. Okay, so my trucks are equipped to feed thousands of people, not 500, but thousands. And I can definitely move around. I do festivity events. I do have a website. For the food truck. So I got 2 different websites. I have one for catering. Then I have one for the website for the food truck. Because one thing about my food truck is you don't have to be present. You can be at home and go on my website, order your food. The location will come up when you go to the website, order the food, pay for it at home while you're watching TV, and then come and pick your wings up. One of my most popular dishes is wings. I got 12 different flavors, you know, and with the wings, I do very, very nice with wings. I have burger sliders. One of my trucks is seafood and stuff like that. So I could change up so much. And the thing about it is, I not only because of the blessings that I receive from God, other people come to me, other food trucks come to me, and they want to know how in the world. And I first tell them, I said, through God. They said, how in the world? I go to an event and the other food trucks are packing up, and my lines, people are just coming. They're coming. Yeah. And it's amazing because you order online, you can order your food and pay for it without even coming to the truck, and you can put in what time you want it.
Right.
It's not a lot of food trucks. A lot of food trucks, you got to write tickets down and wait in line. No, you can put your order in. It prints out in my food truck. I have TV screens in my food truck, and you order your food before. Like if I'm at a festivity or I'm not one to sit on the road. I'm not a food truck that sit on the road. I'm one that, you know, if you call and say, look, I want a cookout. I want something at my home for 100 people. And I pull up with that trailer, my food truck, and pull up with the entertainment, the music, the food. You don't have to do anything. I even have bar tables. I make it look like you at home, and you are at home. So not only I set up professionally, you don't have to worry about nothing. All you have to do is pay the bill, which is not much. Right. And we're gonna do the cleanup. When we pull out of there, we're gonna take the trash with us and everything. You're gonna enjoy your company and your guests. And that's what it's all about. And they're gonna love the experience because they've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like this.
Well, Q, let me tell you something. I've always known you to be like that, and the way that you have always carried yourself, especially with your catering and anything that you've ever done. I've always known you in that way. And I want to go real quick back to the Boys and Girls Club, downtown Newport News. I've always known you to feed them down there and feed the home. I've always known that, you know, and that is where it is just You are just the greatest when it comes to community. And this is what I talk about when we talking about community, because this is what it's all about. We have to always remember that when I'm got anybody to come on my show, if it's going to be if it's not about the fact that somebody that gives back to community in some form or fashion, then guess what? Then I look at what is that purpose? So this is why I definitely wanted you to come on and talk about your food trucks and what it is that you've done. I can go on and on about the amount of volunteer work that I know that you've done and how many people that I know that you fed. Lord knows. But I want to just real quickly, I want to correct something. When I was talking about the 500, I know we took the utensils. The utensils or the plates, the plates that we're talking about. Because see, I know you serve thousands, because I can remember the warehouse that you used to have with thousands and thousands of china.
Yes.
And all of your china and your glasses and your silverware. And I remember that the warehouse that you had. So that was thousands of pieces that you had in there. But when you was talking about this china that looks real, and then you were serving it from the truck, then I'm like, whoa, and I've seen that before. I don't know if it's the same, but I do have seen some china that look exactly like it's real, but it's actually plastic. You do have a lot of people that use that now.
Yes, yes.
Because it's much cheaper than they use actual china. So
well, the labor
because of the labor.
Yes,
right.
So
you got a lot of people that use that.
Yeah.
But let me say this to you, because I definitely want to put this out to you, Q. And I mean this,
Yes.
And I can put this out to you, and not only you, but I'm calling on anybody that I know. Now, on October the 3rd, I want to get that right. It's going to be on this Sunday. On not October. Let me rephrase that. August, this Sunday is this Sunday, first Sunday in August. I think that's going to be August the 3rd. The Black Girls Magic Alliance, they having the Black Girl Magic Award ceremony. I am an honoree. Now, I am putting out to you and any other owner, because let me tell you, there's a lot that I'm asking from folks. First of all, you could be a vendor, Q, all those special desserts, because I've been to their events before. They've had vendors set up on the inside where you can serve your desserts, being able to give your desserts, serve your desserts on the outside of the event, or you can buy an ad, or you can buy a table, because all of those things are very important. Because let me tell you something, once again, the Black Girl Alliance, Latrice B. Carter, founder of Black Girl Alliance, the work that this woman does with not just youth, not just women, but Black men, and the Black men and the Black men in the community. Because I'm gonna tell you something, I'm putting your name out there. When I'm putting your name out there to her about all the work that she probably had not heard of you until when I put your name out there and I tell her about all your work. But I'm gonna tell you something, this woman is always ready to honor someone that is always in community and doing in community. But I'm also saying that I am an honoree for Black Girl Magic, and I am honored to be an honoree, but I'm also asking you to be a part in some kind of way.
Yes.
And I will be putting that information out. So I definitely want you to somehow be a part in some kind of way and support.
Not a problem. And that's not a problem. I don't have my calendar in front of me, and God has blessed me so much. You don't find a food truck with a secretary. That's how busy I am. So I'm a food truck with a secretary, because bookings. I mean, I get 2 to 3 bookings almost every day. And my thing about it, that's the reason why I got more than one food truck, because I could be at more than one location. On that day, August the 3rd, even if I don't have the availability, I will participate in a donation, an offering. Okay, well, I would love to be there. If I'm already booked, it might be a problem. Okay, but I will definitely support it.
Well,
I believe in that.
let me be clear. Let me clarify. She doesn't do the food truck because they already do the food on the inside. But what I'm asking of you is that I do know that they have tables set up with different vendors where I've been to her event before, but there was tables where you did have people, vendors that was presenting their desserts and things like that.
The
and
product.
I know that you had the homemade desserts. So that's what I was talking about. Or you could purchase an ad, or it's because it's a scholarship. The money goes back to students in college.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That's what I'm saying. It's a scholarship gala. So you can. I'm asking you to participate. Whether you purchase a table that's 4 chairs,
not a problem.
Your name, but or purchase an ad for the booklet. That's what I'm asking.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem.
Yeah. So
I will be a participant.
Absolutely. But brother, let me tell you something. I am going to be, I want you at this time to let the viewing audience know how to be able to reach you, Fire and Ice, talk about your website. And then I know you're going to be in Richmond. You got a couple of events in Richmond. I know you talked about the app that people can go on in order to order food. If it'll show you the location. Talk a little bit more about that so people can know exactly what to do to reach you. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I know a lot of people. This is summertime. People like they like having a food truck at this time of the year. Not only that, but let me tell you something else. You have where I live in the community, and where I live, they actually have a food truck, and it's something that we used to do, and it's always something that the HOA is always asking for ideas. That I asked, do you all want to have a food truck again every Wednesday to come out and be able to set up? All that kind of stuff is always happening. So those are get a lot going on, a lot of that going on in different communities. Because I don't know it happens in my community, and I know it probably happens in a lot of other communities. So let people know how they can reach you, brother.
Okay, so first of all, I have a website I'd like you to visit, which is fireandices.com. That's FIREANDICES.com. And when you go onto that website, I will make sure that you have the food truck app as well. Okay, that's for that's kind of unique because the catering website is more for catering and stuff like that. The food truck website is completely different. It's set up for fun and activities. As you mentioned, I do a lot of neighborhood cookouts, or I go to the clubhouse and I set up, and it's amazing. Another thing I am available for is Mother's Day weekend. It's people are more subject now. They love outside dining. They love it. Number one, you ain't got to clean up in your house. I mean, you can have your house clean, but you ain't got to worry about a bunch of people in your house. Okay,
that's right.
That's the biggest thing. Okay. Number two, when I pull up, let's say if you book something for Mother's Day or the Mother's Day weekend or graduation, that's another one coming up. Graduations are booming. I pull up and I have, and on my food truck, and let's say whatever school or college they graduate from, I go on their website and I can get music from I have music in the background. I can have the child's picture on the screen or whatever you want. Whatever you want.
I love that.
I have that. And then I put up the bar tables, and I have the highball bar tables. I put those up so your guests it's really a different experience. It's not just a food truck. It's not. Right. It's entertainment. It's all you can eat food, enjoying, and it's not only a business. It's a relationship that we're developing. But the holidays coming up, Mother's Day, you got Father's Day and stuff like that. I even have
Memorial Day.
yes, tailgate parties, family reunions. They
Yes.
love it. You can't beat a cold slice of watermelon. I had a guest that they didn't even order watermelon, right? And this is all about giving. I pull up and I set up. I had cornbread on the grill, frying look like a pancake. I had catfish. I got so many different things. I brought out the watermelon, and they almost lost their mind. They had soft serve ice cream. They enjoy it. It wasn't even on the menu. But guess what? I gave it to them. It was a giving. And that's what it's all about. So the
That's what it's all
holidays,
about.
I do have
Yeah.
flexibility. I do have more. I can do more than one event and stuff like that. So that's why I have more than one truck. Okay. The holidays is big. Graduations is big. I got this weekend coming up. I have 2 or 3 that I'm doing, and I'm on wheels, so I can move around. My thing about it, this is what amazed my customer. You don't have to do nothing, but just call me and pay for it. I'm gonna be there. I normally get there. I get there 2 hours before, and that way you're comfortable. I'm not in traffic. I set up. I have tents. So I set up.
Yeah.
I have 20 by 20 tents. I set that up, and I have 2 or 3 of them, so I can set that up, and they can be comfortable sitting underneath the tent. I can bring some tables. The bar table, they love it. They love the social. It's a social. A graduation is more of a social event,
That's
and
right.
that it's not one of those events they're gonna sit down and just eat. They moving around. They enjoying stuff. The family reunion package I have it's awesome because when I it's all you can eat. It's not just a little one plate. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
The guests gonna enjoy themselves. They're gonna have fresh food. You can't beat it. You
You can't
can't
beat
beat
it.
it. You know. So I do have a lot of availability. The holidays coming up. Please hit me up. My phone number 757-725-3851. And then go on my website. You'll be able to get my office. You can call my secretary. She'll let you know the availability and all that stuff. Because I am busy, but I'm not too busy for you.
That's right. But Q, and you know, and I'm going to repeat your website again because it broke up just a little bit. It's Fire, FIRE, and ICES, ICES.com.
Yes.
And so I definitely want everybody to go to the website. I mean, the website is going to blow you away. Q have always had a huge menu. That has always been his thing. And so good, you got so many of a choices to be able to select from. And so, but definitely check out the website, look at what you have, the trucks. And like I say, his trucks is not a food truck, it's an experience. That's what I'm hearing. You got an experience. It's not a regular food truck. It's an experience that you giving folk. So, and that's what people want. People really do want an experience because it's like you walking up and you sitting and then you at a restaurant. It's not like, not like, oh, it's a food truck. I'm going to get this food, this taco, and I'm going to walk away and I'm going to sit there and eat it in my hand. No, you're having an experience. It's like you're at a restaurant. You're eating the food that you want. You're having some conversation, and you're building a relationship with the staff, with the person that is there with Hugh, if he's there or if his staff is there. So you're having the experience. And Lord knows, see, I know Q. That's just who he is. That's who we are. And so that's what it's all about. And then not only that, but giving back to community and not saying, hey, I'm going to charge you these over exorbitant fees because this is what I'm giving you. He's also saying, and wait, I've always known Q, I'm going to be fair. Of course he got to pay for his bill, but I'm going to be fair because also I want to build a relationship. And it's about what God has blessed me with. I want to be able to bless somebody else. And you know what? I'm telling you something, you can't beat that with a stick. I don't care who you are. So guess what? I'm expecting for everybody. We got all these holidays coming up. Yes. And it doesn't have to be a holiday. Because guess what? You said something about family reunions. People don't have family reunions anymore because guess what? People don't want to have family reunions at their houses. Or they don't want to be able to have people running out of the houses. But guess what? Q just gave you an opportunity to say, We can have a family reunion. We can have a family gathering. It can be at so-and-so house, but guess what? We don't have to worry about people running in and out because we're gonna have a queue, Chef Q pull up, set up, and we're gonna have all the family outside enjoying the food. We laughing and talking. We having a good time. We ain't got to worry about doing the dishes. We ain't got to worry about the cleanup. We ain't got to worry about none of that.
You ain't got to worry about nobody.
What Chef Q was telling you on all of the events. So this is what we're talking about. So Chef Q, before we end out, brother, first of all, I just want to thank you for everything that I know who you are. It was just it's beautiful for me that to reconnect, because I know we ain't talked in a while, but you and I have always been great friends. I tell people anytime, it doesn't matter that you don't talk to somebody in a long time. When you're great friends, you're great friends. That's never going to change.
Yes.
And me and you have always been great friends. I know for a fact I could always reach out to Q. Q, look here. I need your help. I'm over here at the school. These teachers, these teachers, this staff. And Q was like,
amazing.
I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. What you want? What you want when you need it? I got it.
Yes. It started, the boys club started with Michael Vick.
Thank you.
Okay. And Michael Vick used to pay for all the people to eat. And that's where that started from. But, that's a little history about that. That's how far it goes back, even further than that. But this is amazing right here because this is history. When you call me and you haven't tasted my food, I do a free taste test. I will come to you. I'm going to give you a product for wedding, family reunion. Not only if you don't see the items on the website or the menu, if you have grandma's recipe and you can write it down, I'm going to do my best to match it up. So you're going to have some of grandma's cooking wherever you at. I'm going to do my best to make it up. If you got that recipe, I'm going to do it. So you not only going to get that, this is customized, it's personal. And my thing is, every time I do an event, I get more clients. I create, God put another client, a member, somebody there. It's like planting a seed and watering that seed because everything that I do comes from the heart.
That's right.
So it's not only been a pleasure and experience, and I just get very, very excited. And sometimes I have to excuse my guests and say, excuse me, but I feel like it's my party and I take it personal. And I'm like, no, let's do this. They're amazed. They'll be like, what? And I take them to the next level. The guests come and the guests think they paid a whole lot of money for it. They say, it ain't no way. Did you pay for that? For that? And like I say, I'm building a relationship. And I'm giving a experience that nobody ever have. And when you just say food truck, people think, yeah, food truck, but it's amazing. Once you see it, it's amazing. So I have pictures and stuff like that. I will be.
I'm gonna put them back up. I'm gonna definitely repost them. Don't worry about that because I'm gonna repost. But I wanna go back to something you just said because I think this is very, very important for audience to understand. When you brought Michael Vick up, let me tell y'all something. Not just Q that came to help me at Rich Neck Elementary School, but Michael Vick's aunt used to do my hair when I had hair back in the day. And his aunt also, very, very beautiful family. Very beautiful family. Michael Vick is a community guy. I don't care what you have to say about him. If you don't know Michael Vick and what he has done in the community in Newport News, downtown Newport News, for that Boys and Girls Club, then you don't know Michael Vick and the families that he has helped. Okay. When I called upon Michael Vick, he was with, I believe, Atlanta Falcons at this time. When I called upon Michael to come for Rich Neck Elementary School for the kids, Michael Vick was there. He came no questions asked, nothing. He showed up. And so, and he was always like that too, as you said, for the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
And so I don't care what anybody has negative, what they got to say. I know and that's why I'm so proud. And I always put my little hearts and everything about the fact that Michael's over at Norfolk State head coach. I am just so super proud of Michael because like I said, if you don't really know, then you need to keep your mouth shut because the man have done some extraordinary things. The man was about a community, and he did when it came to his community. Oh my God. Yeah, and that's what people didn't know about him. And they just want to focus on the negative and not all the great positive things. Because I can tell you right now for a fact, when I called on Michael Vick was there. Another brother, I don't know if you heard of this man. I know his name is Mr. Smith. I can't think of his last name. But Mr. Smith owned 12 McDonald's.
Yes.
In Hampton Roads. He had not quite a few in Newport News, but he lived in Hampton. That much I know. Mr. Smith would say to me, anytime you need anything for your teachers or staff or your students at Rich Neck Elementary School, you go right on over to McDonald's on Denby Boulevard, and you tell them that I say you can have it. So that was about community. And these are people that you don't hear about. But I'm going to tell you, I had some of the best people. Now, at Chi-Chi's is closed down. I don't know if anybody remember Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant that was on Denby and Jefferson Boulevard. My twin sister was the manager there. Chi-Chi's was another one that they did a lot of donations and helped with Rich Neck Elementary School and those teachers and staff and those students. We had to focus on those students. When I was the PTA president, that's why I was there for 4 years. Most people, if you understand anything about the PTA, there's only a 2-year term. They would not let me go. I was there for 4 years because of the community and what I bought, the people in whom I bought in, such as Q, as you're looking at right now. The people that was bought, Michael Vick, Chi-Chi's, Mr. Smith, and McDonald's, all of these businesses that help fund that school, because this is what people don't understand about the education system, which we don't have anymore because of the idiots that's in office right now. But the schools don't get that much money. They really don't.
Not now.
They have to, they never did. Yeah. But that's why you had these fundraisers, or they was looking for people in community to help. Yes. This is where it's important to have community to be able to help support the schools. And for Rich Neck had community. When I was a PTA president, Rich Neck didn't have nothing to worry about when it came to whatever they needed to educate those kids. And when those 700 and I believe 789 students that we had, and Miss Rosaline Taylor, the principal at that time, which is absolutely one of the best principals that I've ever known in my life, that was the principal at that time at that school, that when she, and like I said, I'm talking about the early 2000s, and gave me the opportunity to be able to be a president, and not, like a lot of principals, they want to run the PTA, which is a completely separate entity, and they need to let PTAs do their job versus trying to run it. Well, that's why a lot of schools don't have PTAs, and it fails because you don't understand that it is a separate entity, and you got to let them work, and you got to let them do their job. But that's what community looks like. People like Q, that was community for Rich Neck Elementary School and the community in which he lived. Q, I want to thank you. This has been fantastic. I think people got to understand these things, and we go back so far. And I just want to thank you. You are such a jewel for
Thank you.
For the 757. And I mean that whole area, the 757, even here in Richmond in the 804. You are such a jewel. And I want to thank you, brother, for everything that you've done. I'm looking forward to partnering with you on many ventures to come. Anybody that reaches out to me, you can reach out to me. If you want to reach Q, reach out to me. I'll put you in contact, give you his information so you can be in contact. But Q, I'm gonna give you the last word. Anything else you got to add before we leave?
Also, I'm gonna make it real short, but I want to bring this up. I have a son that plays. He go to ODU, and he loves the piano and the organ. He can play almost any instrument. He travels with me, so he done some wedding events and stuff like that. He has his entertainment. I was amazed one time. I was at a woman's home, and she had a band coming, right? And it was a wedding. She had it at her home. She had a band, and the same thing I'm explaining to you, I explained to her. I think the band was $3,000 or $4,000 for a couple of hours, right? I put a footage out of my son playing his equipment, and he charged her $600. Listen to the savings. It's about giving.
That's right.
He did the wedding at her home. He bought his keyboard, his speakers, everything. She ended up giving him about $1,200.
Oh wow.
And
what a blessing.
And he goes with me when he has availability. But it's just amazing. Not only, like I mentioned, and I'm gonna make it short, not only just a food truck, with catering, with weddings, family unions, all of it. It's just an experience that I just love, and I go out and beyond. I go out and beyond. I did Ruben Studdard just recently. I did some stuff for Martin. I did back in the day. I did some stuff for Bill Cosby. I done a lot of VIPs, a whole lot of VIPs, and
I remember.
I started off as a neighborhood boy, you know. And then I decided I'll go and get my degrees and I wanted to be different. And that's what I did. I got my degrees. Not only that, God has given me a vision and a purpose. And that's what I'm following. I'm just following what he tells me to do. And I enjoy it. It's amazing when you do things because you love doing it versus I'm doing it for money. That's right.
Difference. That's right. And brother, let me say something. I remember in your house. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised about your son.
That's right.
Or your children.
Yes.
And the gifts. Because I remember in your house, you had a grand piano. Sitting in the middle of the living room.
Yes. And my son once he came to me, he said, Dad. Yes.
That grand piano. And it was absolutely beautiful. And they played it. So I am not shocked that they are doing magnificent things because they was young boys at that time and playing then. So I am not shocked of the gifts that they have right now. And I'm so glad to hear that they're traveling with you and they are using their gifts. But I'm also glad to hear that people are recognizing it because, even with me, when Elijah was young and out there speaking, and a lot of times I did it with, it was about giving back to the community, giving back. Even Elijah, even when he got older, what a lot of people didn't realize, it actually took a lot out of my household. And then, when Elijah got older, people started making demands. They want this, they want that. But, they still didn't want to pay anything, but they was making demands on what color suit he want. What did they want? I'm serious. So yeah. So, but then it's like, okay, so now we asking for an honorarium, but an honorarium could have been absolutely anything. There wasn't a fee. So, but now, Elijah still doing his speaking. He's 21 years old now, but I let Elijah do it on his own because, we're not doing that anymore. People, they don't mind paying Elijah get a standing room ovation, and keep people up on the floor, but they don't mind that, you got organizations, and I'm not gonna name any, that have paid out $10,000-$15,000 that I've been in the room where people just, they clap and then that's about it. But then they wanted to pay Elijah $60.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Elijah, they had the whole room, tore the whole room down.
Yes.
Or they didn't want to pay him anything. But Elijah tore the whole audience down. But they stole from the keynote speaker. They stole the show from the keynote speaker.
Yes.
But then they want to hand him $5, but they want to pay the keynote $10,000. So we as Black people are gonna really have to get away from crap like that.
Yes.
So, but anyway, brother, and we're gonna go. Anyway, once again, we're gonna stay with Fire and Ice. And I can't wait to see you. I'm gonna be seeing you soon. Everybody, please visit fireandices.com.
Yes.
Fireandices.com. If you want to reach me, of course, you can certainly reach me at bcoles at 52@comcast.net, or reach me on my Facebook page, Brenda Coles. I'm always out there. Or send me a message on Yahoo. But we're definitely going to get this out. If you want to be able to reach out and get Q. Also, people, and my phone number is online, but if you want to give me a call me at 804-426-6308. If you also need to reach Q to get you a catering, I'm saying catering, and your party on and your experience on, because you're not going to have a food truck. Okay. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking this time out and joining me on Let's Talk About It with Brenda Coles. Thank you, and have a great day. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Be blessed.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.